Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brother Kenroy with my second story. It is called Love. Now, we all know what love is, so to speak. Love is that wonderful feeling that God has blessed us with. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. But love can be described in various ways. Either it's love of two partners, two lovers, love between a mother and her children, love between two friends. But today's story tells of love between a man and a woman. And let's get right into it. A few years ago here in beautiful Barbados, this fella, or this young man, was in love with this young girl. They were so in love, at least on his part. And as time went by, she leave out this young man. This young lady leave out this young man for another man. And she went on to get children from this another man, another partner. And this young man whom she left out was broken-hearted. He was suicidal. His whole world was upside down. His whole world came to an end. So, ain't nothing he can do but move on. After all, the woman moved on with another man. Or men, I should say, because she got children from more than one man. But he was stuck in time. He was stuck on her love. He didn't want to let go, nor he didn't want to give up. But what choice did he had? He had to move on. After all, she out there enjoying her life and was happy. And he was moping and groaning while she's out there happy. And after a while, he started to catch back himself and he put himself back on track. You know, he got a nice job, he went to church, and he got his life back on track. But things weren't going so well for this young lady. Do you know why? One of the partners out there that she was running around with, that she was sleeping about with, she contacted the deadly AIDS virus. She caught AIDS. And her life was ending slowly but surely. She started to lose weight. She got all the rashes and all the sores on her skin. Basically, she became a skeleton. A walking skeleton. And he heard the news. And he felt so sad. You know, a lot of men would say, I'm glad that is for her. She deserves it. I'm glad she's dying. But he was not like that. The love that he had for her was rooted so deep in his heart. So deep in his heart that he rushed to her side in the hospital. And every day he came and looked for her. And he brought flowers. He brought love and smiles and everything she needed. He was by her bedside. And brethren, one of the last things he did is propose marriage to her. You imagine a man proposing marriage to a woman that left him out for another man? A woman that hurt him? A woman that destroyed him? A woman that caused him to be suicidal? Do you imagine that? That a man proposing marriage to this very same woman? But you know what? Love was strong. The Bible said love is stronger than death. Love is stronger than hate. Love is stronger than vengeance. And he had that kind of love for this young woman. The kind of love that could overcome anything or anyone. And you know what? He stood by her bedside and he proposed marriage. And she gladly accepted. And within the few days that she had left, he made her the most happiest woman on God's earth. He made an honest woman out of her. He made a happy wife out of her. All because of love. Brethren, that kind of love is hard to find in today's world. That kind of love is very rare indeed. That kind of love is hardly existence of today. Do you know why? Because it was the love of the Lord. He became a Christian. And he forgave her. And he still managed to love her enough to marry her on her deathbed, although she had the deadly AIDS virus. He held her hand and he married her, knowing that he would not get to spend eternity with her, knowing that he would not get to take her on no honeymoon. He would not be a family man with her and have kids from her. But you know what? That didn't matter at that moment. What mattered was his love for her. What mattered that he lived to see her smile one last time. I'm sure a lot of men out here will be saying, but he making law of sport, but he real foolish. You think she could have do all of that to me and they still turn around and marry her? Well, you gotta be making a sport. She would have dead and I'm glad she died. But no, he put aside that arrogancy. He put aside that sort of thinking. He put aside that sort of concept. And he forgave her. God, the Bible declares forgiveness is the gift of God. Forgiveness is the gift of God. One time the disciples asked Jesus, how much times should I forgive my brother? How much times should I forgive someone that done me wrong? Jesus says 70 times 7. But you know, forgiveness is not for the person, that hurt you. Let me repeat that. Forgiveness is not for the person that hurt you. Forgiveness is for you. To forgive that person that hurt you, not the person that hurt you. It is up to you to forgive you. For you to forgive that person, sorry. And he put all of that aside, brethren, and married this young lady on her deathbed. And it became international news here in Barbados. Kudos to that young man. I take my hat off to that young man. I respect that young man. I give him a big shout out. Now this is Positive Care coming to you at the end of this second story. To always remind you, forgiveness is the gift of God. You cannot love God who you cannot see and hate your brother who you can see. Let me repeat that. You cannot love God who you cannot see and hate your brother who you can see. It does not work like that. If you don't forgive those that hurt you, how you expect the Almighty to forgive you? Forgiveness is the gift of God. Let this love story encourage you to forgive one another. This is Positive Care coming to you with another fantastic story. God bless you. Hallelujah.